are the starters for Los Angeles. The two stars, George and Leonard, fill up the forward slots. Jay out there with Landry Shamet. And Harrell's in at the pivot, manning the middle. And for the Rockets, Harden out there with Payne. Then it's Clint Capella. Then there's Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And it's House in at the 3 spot. And for Kawhi Leonard, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Not much he can't do offensively either. He's terrific at the top of his game. Where does he rank on your Hall of Fame pyramid when it's all said and done?
A work in progress, obviously, but I think what happened last year, that's the kind of stuff I love, where, 4 straight rounds, that dude carries a team. Some of the best two-way stuff we've ever seen from that position, where it's like him and Pippen as the best defenders ever at that position. But on the other end, he's 31-8 every game.
Amazing.
He's getting the free throw lines. He makes one of the great shots of all time that you called. He wins a Game 7 at home. He comes back from down 2-0 in round 3. And, really reminiscent of like Dirk in 2011 and some of the Michael Jordan in 1991, some of these runs that
historic. Very historic.
Yeah, all time. You're talking Duncan, Shaq. You're talking some of the great players ever. That's where he landed that season.
George, no good. It's Payne with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Rockets. And Harden with the basket on the assist from Payne.
He's so good at making the defense feel and look helpless. Even when they're right on him, Harden finds a way to make defenders look silly at times.
Shamet finds Leonard. That one's in, his first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
The offensive rebound. And another shot. Kidd-Gilchrist, no luck.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
You know what? That's a confidence shaker for him, though. That's a shot he expects to make every time.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. He'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
Payne. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Bill, if you were just hired as a GM, which franchise would you model your approach after?
I really like what the Clippers did the last couple years when they realized they didn't have quite enough to win the title. And instead of just being beholden to being darn close but not quite, they actually blew it up and tried to figure out how to create cap space, find some young players.
And still stay competitive.
Build
so
the
they kept the momentum of their franchise.
Yeah, they stumbled into a situation where they had a lot of flexibility no matter what. I think the Celtics before them did the same thing in the mid-2000s. They're just trying to find assets and figure it out on the fly. That's the approach I would use. I would never fully commit one way or the other to anything. The goal is to try to accumulate assets and figure out what you have. And I think the smartest teams do that.
Kevin, it doesn't really matter if you body harden up. He's committed to scoring the basketball, and his concentration allows him to do so.
George against Kidd-Gilchrist. And George, here we go. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Harden the pass to Payne. Here is House. 6 to shoot. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell.
Even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. A ton of contact and a good call by the official.
And so House nails both of them. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Now, here's Shamet. D right on him. Outside, George. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Boy, George can really change pace quickly. He's excellent at drawing physical contact.
Bill was in Boston where you received your master's degree in journalism. What attracted you to this profession? Why journalism?
I couldn't do anything else, and I didn't like manual labor.
No, really.
No, that really was it. I was good at writing.
Like anybody in your family or anybody you
I was always a good writer, and I liked writing and sports.
Yeah.
So just kind of like, I'll do those two things
Did
together.
it in high school, I'm assuming?
Yeah, started in high school. I had a big thing for me was in college. I had a column for the school newspaper, really from freshman year on. And around sophomore year, I felt like it started to get momentum. And that was the first time I thought, I wonder if I can get paid for this.
Right.
Which, as it turned out, no, until I was about 29.
Yeah. It's stolen.
You know what? That passing lane wasn't open for long. He closed it down in a heartbeat there to get the steal.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Well, turning defense to offense, we talk about it all the time. Try to hit your opponent at the other end before they can set up the defense.
Harden, no good.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
And that one's good, Shamet.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Rockets trail by 6. Now here's Payne. 17 points for him last game against Sacramento. And he's able to get it back. Capella lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
Boy, he's a powerful presence with great length. Capella can make things happen inside for sure.
Pass to Leonard. The Rockets pull it in.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Bill, you host your own podcast. I've listened to it. I subscribe to it.
Thank you.
I love it. What do you make of so many NBA players now doing the same thing?
And we have a couple of them. At the Ringer, we have J.J. Redick, and we have Vince Carter and Ken Bazemore. The ones that are good at it take it seriously. It can't be one of those things where, a player says, you know what, I want a podcast, and then it just magically happens. And you got to work on it. You have to use your connections and book your guests, and you have to be candid on the podcast. You can't just show up and just babble. And the guys that have been successful at it are people that could probably have a media career for a living. Like JJ is clearly going to go into media after he retires. Richard Jefferson had a great podcast. He's gone into media. He's really good.
Yes.
So I think you need a little more talent at it than people realize. And you need the consistency of it. You can't say, I'm starting a podcast and then not do it for 2 months. Like, you have to really stick to it.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. And then for Los Angeles, Zubac is checked in for Harrell. Green comes in for George. Lou Williams is subbed in for Landry Shamet. Here's none. And the rejection by Zubac. Here's Leonard. That shot off. The Rockets go the other way with it. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad.
Yeah, plenty of familiarity in this matchup. Last season, they were knocked out of the playoffs by this club.
Exactly. Dispatched in the conference semis, and so they'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge in this game. They should be highly motivated.
Jay, defended by Gordon, and the dunk by Zubac.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish.
Tucker, the pass to Nunn. It's hauled in by Zubac. Bill, do you ever think we're going to eliminate conferences in the NBA playoff seeding?
I think that they would have done a 16 seed, no conference playoff format years ago. I think they're really worried about the travel, though. Mm-hmm. And they've looked at it, and they've really studied it, and they've looked at the effects of, let's say Boston plays Portland in round 1, and you're flying 3,100 miles or 3,200 miles in 3 time zones and all that stuff. And it's a 2-2-1-1-1 series. what is the effect on the team if it goes 7? I think they're really afraid of it. I wish they did it. I don't like the conferences. I don't really understand them. And over the course of NBA history, they've been really confused by the conferences. I wrote about this in the book of basketball, where we had years where San Antonio was playing in the East for a while, and Baltimore was in the West, which, go look at a map. Baltimore being in the West is ridiculous. Baltimore was in the West and Philly was in the East, and they're like 50 miles away from each other.
Yeah, made no sense.
So they've never really 100% figured out the conferences, and I just think the 1 through 16 makes more sense.
It would sure be better basketball.
It would be better.
Yeah.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Sacramento.
Well, they made a few key shots, but missed many more. It was a rough night for them offensively.
And you know what? If you're not going to outwork your opposition, then you typically are going to get outplayed.
Patrick Beverly, he's checked in for Leonard. Here's Nunn. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. That one off the back iron and out.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
And the trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
Zubac kicks to Beverly. And here's Green outside. Trains the three-pointer. Green's got 10 points in the game.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Yeah, you know, they've had the advantage at both ends. They've got all the momentum early on.
Pass to Tucker. Shot to stop the run. He takes it up and lays it in.
And though lacking some height, Kevin, Tucker has the bounce, the reach, and the strength and attitude to do damage inside.
Williams kicks to Green. And it's Zubac atop the key. Here's Jay. Offensive rebound. Zubac tosses it to Jay. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. For Los Angeles, they have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. And the first one at the line is good. Both free throws good from Jay.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
Here's Nunn. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
And the Clippers making a change here.
Usually free throws are a formality for him. I didn't expect that result when he stepped up there.
And nice job taking what the defenders gave him. These guys need a gut check right now.
Well, that's exactly the kind of defense that's gotten them into the hole.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
Yeah, you know, when you're looking to close the gap, you need guys who will take it upon themselves to step up, take the initiative, and make something happen.
Just 5 to shoot. From deep. But they recover it. And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. Clippers ahead as they end the first quarter with a huge surge. A unique upbringing for Clint Capella. Spent years in a welfare orphanage in Switzerland. He said he never imagined he'd come this far.
As a kid, I wasn't even dreaming about that far. I would say that's even past my dreams. I mean, now I'm just living the moment, trying to work hard as I can, and just enjoy the pressure.
Just an inspiring story, Greg. It gives you perspective on why you should be grateful for everything you have.
Kevin, without a doubt, Capella's upbringing helped shape him, and the hard work he continues to put in is really admirable.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Los Angeles?
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
You know, we've seen them bearing their fair share of mid-range jumpers tonight, too. I mean, that's a good start for them.
And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. Jay out there with Patrick Beverley. Then it's JaMychal Green. Then it's Williams. It's Kevin Gelly in at the 5 spot. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Jay in that last matchup against the Spurs was all business. He dropped in 34 points, and along with what he did on offense, he had a big defensive night as well. A very solid stat line for him in what was a terrific outing. And you know he wants to keep the momentum going, Kevin.
Thank you, David. You're right. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that one.
Yeah, he was not going to let them lose that game. We'll see if he comes in with that same attitude tonight.
Yeah, you know, every night's different. They may try to double him, might force him to adjust, or force him to make plays with the pass instead. We'll see.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Ilyasova comes in for JaMychal Green, and Georgia subbed in for Williams. And Bill, over a quarter of today's NBA players were born in a country other than the United States. The talent is that broad all over the globe.
And Giannis was born on another planet. We don't know what planet
He is
he was.
otherworldly.
It wasn't Earth. I think he just got dropped from some satellite. Yeah, this all starts with.
I love it too, don't you? I love the fact
do.
we've got players from Latvia and Greece and all over playing.
What's cool about it is they all kind of have distinct identities and quirks, and one of the things that makes somebody like Doncic so much fun to watch is he's not like anybody else. Like, he's close to James Harden, but he's also that step back three that he was taking that he's been making his whole life. Other than Harden, nobody was even really shooting it that way, you know? And I think there's an unselfishness with the European guys that is really useful for the way the American style.
100% agree.
They really, guys move without the ball, give and go, and it's not just like clear out, I'm up.
Yeah. Los Angeles leading by 11. Here's Jay, and he bangs it home with one hand.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage nonetheless. I mean, it was only with one hand, but he still threw that down pretty hard.
So a moment now to see the story on James Harden. Great showing for him last season. Third in assists, third in three-point shooting, and as one of the NBA's top 5 scorers, you also can't forget what an outstanding year he had offensively.
And as you mentioned, top 3 in assists last year. He did a great job of setting the pace, finding the open man, making the simple delivery. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Kicks to Ilyasova. No good with the triple. Rockets trail by 11. Harden outside. And with the 2K Esports League bill, players not only get a salary, they can also sign endorsement deals. They're celebrities now unto themselves.
So what are the endorsement deals that the 2K players sign? Is it like hat? Because you're not really moving. Nobody can people see your clothes? They can, right?
They can
So you
see
need
your
sneakers,
clothes.
hats,
Maybe it's a hat. Maybe it's
drinks?
a shirt. All of it.
Do the announcers get endorsement
Gloves?
deals? Where's our endorsement
Well, if
deal
they
money?
don't, we could probably make the stab for it right here.
I'm ready.
This is the venue to do it right
I'm
here.
ready to do whatever.
Let's change the culture.
CTC.
Harrell, he's checked in for the Clippers. Andrew Shamet comes in for Patrick Beverley. Unloads. No good from Jay.
Well, you know he wants that one back. I mean, more often than not, he'll sink that mid-range jumper.
Back to Harden. Houston moving the ball around. Here is House. He's coming off a 10-point game against Sacramento. Just 5 on the clock. Payne's shot is good.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam.
Really piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Rockets trail by 8. And there's the foul. It goes on Ilyasova. That's foul number 2 for him.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on, guys.
Harden outside. The pass to Kid Gilchrist. He kicks it to Payne. Clock at 6. From downtown, the Clippers grab the miss. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
The Rockets perpetually knocking on the door. At what point, though, Bill, do you think their window will close?
I think that point happened in May of 2019. I think they had 2 years to win the title where everything was lined up for them. 2018, they're up 3-2 against the Warriors. The Warriors are tired. They seem like they're fading. They can't close. I think the key for them is the difference between being a regular season team and a playoff team. They're a great regular season team, but the playoffs every year become more and more complicated, smarter, more. You got to come up with a plan C, a plan D, a plan E as the series goes along. And their plan A is kind of what they ride with. They get tight, the crowd gets tight, things slow down. What's your plan B? And they haven't been able to figure that out.
George passes to Jay. Gets a very good look and converts. Jay's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Offensive rebound. Capella. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket.
Well, I tell you what, Clint Capella does a really good job of playing with such energy and effort, particularly on the glass, and because of that, he can hurt you on the boards.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to go on Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. The Clippers shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. That free throw, no good.
And every single season, Paul George has kicked his game up another level. I think he's a premier two-way forward who gets it done at both ends.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Leonard's checked in. Here's Payne. And the rejection by Harrell.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Well, they're working the glass, really battling in that area of the game, and that's helped them stake this lead.
They shoot again. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. This is his first trip to the line tonight.
You know, this is not an area where they expect him to contribute. You know, he's a guy that shot below 70% last season.
And we saw it last year, guys, because those numbers were so low. Teams weren't afraid to put him on the line where points were hard to come by for him.
Zubac is checked in for George. Rockets trail by 9. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Payne with it. 11 points in the game. He can't get that one. Nice D from Jay.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
For Los Angeles, they have made 7 free throws and missed 3 in this game.
And they had a lot of success a season ago as a team, hitting about 80% of their free throw.
That free throw missing.
And the soft-spoken Leonard is now an elite talent in this league, an athletic forward who leads by example.
And he misses the second one as well, so he is 0 for 2 that time. And so it's Payne with it. He'll bring it up for the Houston Rockets. They trail by 9 points.
And really, this is the area where Kid Gilchrist shines. I mean, he's very confident shooting from the interior.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
And here's a look at some numbers for Leonard. He's coming off an excellent season. He averaged 25 points per, 8 rebounds, and just over 2 steals. And you talk about guys who just have a nose for putting up points. He is one of them.
Yeah, he sure is, and he rarely has back-to-back bad games. If he has an off night, he usually follows that up with a big night.
Pass to Harrell. And here is Shamet. Outside Leonard. Fires from deep. That ball is in the basket. Now he's shot 6 and made 3 of them.
How about Kawhi Leonard knocking down the 3 ball? Didn't have that shot when he got into the league. Love seeing how he's improved as a shooter with the outside jumper.
Payne. Some solid defense here from Jay.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. It's gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
The shot from 20 feet away. And a little luck that time, but it drops. Jay's got 12 now in this quarter.
Guys, this has been an incredible performance this quarter. I mean, he's getting the ball where he likes it and wants it and just going to work.
Payne gets a wide open look. No good on the triple.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Jay, the pass to Shamet. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. And now it's a 12-point Clipper lead. Houston's gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%, but they've continued to let them fly. Here is House. He's covered by Leonard. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
And, you know, Capella is so strong that you really got to wrap him up if you're going to commit the foul on it.
Both teams will make substitutions. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Free throw no good for Capella. Los Angeles leading by 10. Williams attacking. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Williams has got his first points in this one.
And, you know, Kevin, the thing about Williams, sometimes he doesn't look like he's moving all that fast, and then bam, there go the Jets.
Gordon deciding where to go with it. Knocks it loose. Pass to Nunn. Lets the 3 fly.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
On the wing, Gordon. He's guarded by Williams. And the rejection by Zubats. Bill, we so appreciate you stopping by, spending some time with us. Always feels like there's so much more to talk about, which means we got to get you back here, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And Clark, you know what? Bill will always give you a great point of view.
And you know what? I think he needs his own barbershop talk show, Kevin. I mean, he's done everything else in media. Go barbershop on him, Bill.
Jones. Eight seconds left to play here in the half. Now Gordon. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball. And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. It's been one outstanding game from Jay.
And the way that he has helped out with the ball movement has been a difference maker early on.
And, you know, that's not a job they ask him to do very often, but in the first half, I thought he was in perfect sync with his teammates.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. So on the floor for Houston, we've got Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Harden out there with Payne, then it's Clint Capella, and it's House in at the 3. And Clark, throughout your NBA career, you always wore number 33. How'd you end up picking that number?
Well, it goes back to my idolization of Lou Alcindor at the time, who is now known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was the first big, graceful guy I saw do a little bit of everything in his days at UCLA, and then I digested all kinds of books and stories about him and just really admired his work on and off the court. Because he wore 33, I chose 33.
And Jay gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Little over a minute gone here in the second half. Harden dishes to Payne. Passes to House. Clock at 4.
Well, that long reach of Paul George's really bothers shooters. He is one of the best two-way players we have in the association.
Here's Harrell. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. A chance now for a three-point play.
Shooting one.
It's going to be on James Harden. For Los Angeles, they have made 7 of their last 12 attempts at the line. That's good from Harrell. And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Here's Payne. Banked in off the glass. Payne's got 4 points this quarter.
And I'll bet his percentage is pretty high from that range.
Los Angeles leading by 13. Leonard inside. Kidd-Gilchrist there. Some solid defense from Kidd-Gilchrist. It's Payne with the ball. He'll bring it up for Houston. When this game is done, they'll be off to Miami to take on the Heat. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. And it's Leonard missing.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
And denied. He sends it right off the glass. And Harden wide open. He shoots. Good on the three-point shot. Harden's got 14 points for the game.
Now, you got to remember that Harden has a quick trigger, staple gun quick. This guy is looking to score as soon as the ball touches his hand.
The shot's good from Jay.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Payne finds Harden. Shoots over Shamet. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down to 10 points. Again, thanks to that one from James Harden. For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. The Rockets pull it in. Capella's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. And the pass to House. Back to Payne. Dishes it to Capella. 5 on the clock. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. He's got 8.
Sheer power there from Capella. Not an easy guy to contain when he's going up with the shot.
Just rubbing it in their faces with that dunk.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
And that's terribly demoralizing for a defense, guys. I mean, they know he's going to keep coming and coming and coming, and that they may not have an answer for it.
It's Harden with the drive. Now here's Payne, defended by George. From 18 feet away, another shot. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell.
Man, it's nice to see Capella get that deep position inside, and then he's able to draw the foul as he forces the defense to whack him.
And he makes the first. And with Clint Capella, it's easy to see what an important piece of this team he is.
Yeah, it really is, guys, because when he's off the floor, there's a clear difference in how his team plays. I mean, he fits in so well and gives the Rockets exactly what they need, finishing at the rim out of pick and rolls, and then a terrific rim protector as well.
Rockets trail by 9. Pass to House. Back to Payne. Harden surveying the D. Pass to House. Pulls up. High post. Goes back up. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
You know, it's really hard to match up against Clint Capella's height and length. I mean, sometimes you got to foul him.
And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for the Clippers.
They've knocked down plenty of mid-range jumpers in this one. That's been big for them.
And you've always heard of guys being in a zone shooting, but you can be in a zone passing the basketball, and we've seen that tonight as well.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. We have seen so many great players in the history of this terrific game, but in your mind, who's the best to have never won an MVP?
Wow, you think about some of the names on that list recently, or not too long ago. Patrick Ewing, Scottie Pippen, same era. How about going back to John Havlicek, a former Buckeye and all-time great with the Celtics. Elgin Baylor, one of the first high-flying forwards that I recall, one of those really creative do-it-all type forwards. Jerry West and Dwayne Wade right in that mix too, man. Those are some lofty names that didn't get an MVP.
Another miss by Houston. Clippers leading by 7. That's tipped. It's stolen by Capella. Here's Harden. And the layup's good off the glass. Harden's got 18 points in the game.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. It's blocked, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. So for the Rockets, Damian Jones comes in for Kid Gilchrist. And it's Gordon in for Danuel House. And the Clippers with a change here, too. Lou Williams has checked in for Landry Shamet. To the inside, Harden. And Harden with the stuff.
I've got a word for Harden. It's indefatigable. Say that real fast. Which basically means he's tireless. Even when he's carrying the whole offense. He's got great energy and stamina.
Now here's Payne. He's tightly guarded. And Jay gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second. That's good from Tucker.
You know, starting out in the D-League, then bouncing around the international circuit, Tucker took the long, hard road to get here.
Here's Jay, and the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's Los Angeles. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the 4th. Under down low at 4 with Harrell in the middle. Jay out there with Patrick Beverly. And it's Shamet in at the small forward. Payne in the post. Defended by Beverly. Releases. Yep, it goes. And the Clipper lead is cut down now to just 11 on the basket from Payne. The Clippers shooting 49% on the game. They'll take that. Jay, the pass to Leonard. Out to the right wing. Passes it to Jay. Shot clock at 6. The Clippers need to get off a shot. And it's Leonard missing.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Here is House. Defended by Beverly. Inside. It's deflected. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits. And so Beverly will bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points.
He's certainly been their go-to guy when it matters most. He's trying to close this one out.
Payne passes to Harden. Now here's Jones. And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Payne. Shot clock at 5. Shoots from the high post. And that one goes long. Los Angeles leading by 14. Here's Jay. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. 34 points for Jay.
And that's his second triple of the half. None for him going into the break.
And there's the pass to Payne. To the paint. And the basket by Jones.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
And it's good once more. Nice make there from Jay. Jay's got 14 points now in the second half. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Now here's Payne, defended by Beverly. Pass to Harden. Jacks up a 3. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Harden's got 25 points in the game.
Right now, the defense needs to do a better job of closing out on this guy. He's heating up from outside.
Jay, the pass to Beverly from past the arc. The shot, no good. And it's Houston the other way. Here is House. It's Jones on the wing. Left side, Kid Gilchrist. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. All right, Clark, game is on the line. 1 free throw to make to win a big game. Who is up there for you?
I'd go with your colleague and mine.
Oh, yeah.
But since he's no longer in uniform today, I will go with Steph Curry and Malcolm Brogdon.
Great names. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Damian Jones. And the Clippers with a change here, too. George is checked in. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
100% since halftime? Come on now. I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon with that kind of marksmanship.
No good on the second free throw. Rockets trail by 13. Here's Payne. He drains the quick shot. Payne's got 4 this quarter.
You know, the defense has to be better. I mean, you can't give up that look.
Jay, the pass to Shamet. High, arcing shot.
Boy, the timing Capella has on the defensive end. Outstanding. Terrific at knowing exactly when to go up for those blocks.
And here is Los Angeles now. 11-point game. Just 4 to shoot. Jay, the pass to Shamet. And the shot goes down.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Payne looking around. The dish now to Capella. Down low. Kid Gilchrist. Rebound by Harrell. Harrell's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Here's Leonard. That's all good, and that's his 5th basket of the game. He's shooting 5 for 11 now.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
And even under pressure in close, I think they've still done a good job maintaining concentration and converting the opportunities.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And, you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Swiped it away. And now the Clippers on the break. Here's Jay. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What, you mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas, I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more. Man, what a pass that was there. He really, really relishes making the game easier for his teammates.
And it goes down 2 points.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
And Jay gets the whistle that time. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
That foul gives him 4, so he's got to settle down a bit.
Clippers on defense. Payne's shot is good. Clippers leading by 17. Shamet the pass to Jay. Rebound by House. House has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Pass to Harden. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Harden's got 16 points here in the second half. Los Angeles has gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Here's George. Nice spin off the left rim and in.
When PG-13 is feeling it, he can be an absolute monster from mid-range.
Here's Payne. Off target with his 3. And so it's Leonard with it. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. They can look forward to the Cavaliers after this game in a matchup against Cleveland. That'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour. First one falls for him. Houston making a switch here. Tucker's checked in. Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard. Rockets trail by 19. And here's Payne. Fires from the line, and he gets the jumper to drop. Payne's got 25 points in the game.
You know, he's got to be exasperated right now, fellas. I mean, playing excellent ball, but they're still losing.
Here's Jay. Rockets with the rebound. Capella's got rebound number 15 here tonight. To the middle. And Tucker kicks to House. Houston moving it around. Payne dishes to Capella. And the jam by Harden.
There are very few any better than Harden at the and one. He's an expert. He looks for the contact, initiates it, gets it, and still finishes. You can't be too physical with him.
Free throw drops for Harden. And Greg, when you're discussing and comparing James Harden and what he's done these last few years, you have to do it on a very historic level.
He's going to go down as one of the best to ever play the game. His production is incredible, and the skill level really is groundbreaking. Easily the best off guard in the league.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Jay.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special. Passes it to House. Back to Payne. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That one on George. Do you think it helps the pace of the game with the NBA recently modifying the shot clock rule that after an offensive rebound, it doesn't go back to 24, it goes now to the new number, 14 seconds.
Well, I really like the rule because you don't have to bring the ball over the half-court line, which is 8 seconds, so it makes sense, and it does speed up the game, in my opinion.
Gets it to go. That one good from Jay.
Boy, you got to be in awe of what he's doing this quarter, actually destroying the opponent.
Tucker with the ball. Leonard's there. Kicks it out to Harden. 6 on the shot clock. And it's Capella missing.
Yeah, and that's been the story of the game. I mean, the rebounding has been very one-sided.
Yeah, and they've been on the winning end. I mean, effort is one thing you can always control in addition to attitude. I would credit this lead to force of will.
Harden the pass to Capella. Second chance shot. It's good.
Capella has the size and ability to score down in the paint. I like his assertiveness.
So it's the Clippers now. They lead by 14. Left side, George. Here's Jay. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. George has got 3 assists now in this one. Harden outside. Takes the 3. Rebounded by Jay. Jay's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. There's the pass to Shamet. Here's Jay. Rockets with the rebound. 1:37 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Payne with it. Now defended by Jay. Payne passes to Tucker. Back to Payne. Shoots over Shamet. Payne can't hit.
And if you ask me what percentage of the time he's making that shot, my answer would be in the single digits.
Well, you can't be forcing a shot like that. You got to keep the ball moving. Get something better.
Clark, for a while now, you and I were just talking. We've had a rule that a team cannot go without a first-round pick in consecutive years. Could it be time to lift that restriction?
I certainly wouldn't mind discussing lifting the restriction, but I like it as it is on the books because it does lend itself, I think, to competitive balance. And that's important in the strength of a league.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Los Angeles.
Looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders, and on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the board.
They made the most of those extra rebounds as well, Kevin.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
The stats tell us, Greg, that the winner of the first game is a big favorite to come out on top in the overall series.
And, you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Jay.
I thought his active hands were a big help. I mean, he took some chances on defense, and his gambles paid off. He got a bunch of steals.
And the first one drops.
You know, he was born in Switzerland, guys. Clint Capella's had quite the journey to NBA stardom. I mean, started his pro career in France, and he was a late first-round pick in 2014.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Christie, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Gordon comes in for Daniel House. Frazier, he's checked in for James Harden. And it's early in for Cameron Payne. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And it's the Rockets with the ball. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Early, the pass to Frazier. Here's Christie, guarded by Robinson. Here's Christie. Kicks it to Early, down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's off the back rim, no good. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And that'll do it, folks.